Hi everyone, it's Maureen from mycasestudies.blogspot.com, and today I'm making this heartfelt For All You Do card, but there's a secret. When you go really close up, you can see that there's the words "Thank You" repeated all behind the peony image. So it actually says a heartfelt thank you for all you do. So I'm going to show you how to do this technique today, because if you just did it normally by stamping on the back of the vellum, the words would show up backwards on the front. So we're going to actually do some mirror stamping with this background stamp from the ton and our mirror image stamp. You can see the wrong side looks kind of funny and mottled, and the correct side is very nice and smooth. So that's how you tell the difference when you first get your stamp. I just placed that in my regular original size MISTI and put the background stamp over it. I'm going to treat the vellum with my anti-static bag, and then I'm going to ink up my background stamp with Versamark ink because I'm going to be doing some embossing, and I stamp it and make sure it's really stamped down well onto my mirror image stamp, and I missed a spot so I redid it. Then you put the vellum powder side down, and I'm going to brayer over it to make sure that all of that Versamark ink transfers onto the vellum. Now I'm taking some clear detail embossing powder and putting that all over my vellum. And then I'm going to get out a little clipboard that I use for embossing so that my fingers don't get burnt while I'm heating up my embossing powder. And remember to hold your heat gun away from the vellum to heat up first so that there's not so much warping when you finally do hit it with your heat tool. So now that's done, I'm going to get out my mini MISTI and I'm going to turn that over so that the embossing is down, and my image didn't stick because it was a little dusty, so I cleaned it off and then stuck it down. And again, I'm treating that vellum with my anti-static powder bag. And then I'm going to ink that peony image up with the Versamark, and then I'm going to emboss it with some gold detail embossing powder. And the back is just slightly bumpy from the embossing, so if you don't get a good stamped image the first time, of course with the MISTI you can always go back and re-stamp it. Now that I'm done, I'm going to take out a white piece of paper so I can show you that I'm going to do some watercoloring on the back of the vellum, which is the side with all the words on it. And I've got my Zig Clean color watercolor brush markers, and I'm using a purple color for the shadowing and then a nice light pink to blend that out and give a little more highlight. And I'm not being super careful. I know this is sped up, but I'm actually not being really careful, as you could see just there, that I just kind of scribbled on the color in that middle portion there. And then I'm going to blend out all those purple shadows. And it doesn't have to be, you know, really super realistic or anything, because no matter what you do, it's just going to look great from the front. Coloring on the back of vellum always gives a really nice effect. So don't worry too much about getting the so-called correct shadows in or anything. And I just cleaned off the excess color, and there you can see how the words show through, and they're the correct way. After I cut this out, you're going to see me put some adhesive on the back so I can glue it down to my card base. And the words are the correct way because we did the mirror image stamping. And if we didn't do the mirror image stamping, the words would actually come through the front backwards. So I'm sticking my peony down onto my base, and because of all that embossing, the adhesive doesn't show through, so don't worry about that. I'm taking this halftone thanks set from Altenew, and I'm taking out a couple of sentiments to use on my card. And you can see right here I haven't been stamping in a while, and I forgot how to use my MISTI by not putting it in a corner, but I'll fix that in just a minute. So I'm using a heartfelt and thanks for all you do, or for all you do, and I'm putting those where I want them, but first I'm going to get my grid out so that I can make sure they're straight. And here's where I realized, no, I need to put that in the corner because that's how the MISTI works. And so I line up my sentiment on my grid to make sure that it's straight, and I pick that up. And then I put the beginning part of the sentiment and pick that up. Then I'm going to treat my card base with the powder bag because I'm going to be embossing my sentiments as well. So I ink those up with Versamark and put my same gold detail powder on. And unfortunately I missed a little bit of it, and I got a little bit of powder stuck in a couple places, so I cleaned that off before heating. And then a quick heat is all you need to melt those sentiments. And then that is basically it. My card is done. It's a very simple, I don't know if you can call it a no layer or one layer card, but there's my finished card, and you can see when I go a little bit closer all the thank yous. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you'll visit my blog. Thanks for watching again. Bye.